Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have Zilliqa, first video of the day today. Guys, Zilliqa is one of the projects that I've been holding for some time. I will be honest, I did a lot of transactions around Zilliqa in 2020. Through 2021, I wasn't accumulating as much as I probably should have. We saw a big, massive tail up, which we'll go into the chart in a moment's time to just go through a bit more of that and where we are today and why I've been accumulating these last few months. But first of all, let's take a look at a few top topics here for Zilliqa. Of course, absolutely phenomenal powerhouse of blockchain technology, building its own metaverse called the Metaverse. And you know what? Out of all the projects that I hold, Zilliqa by far for sure one of the most active in terms of their community engagement and communication and just general really good content that they're bringing out. A few things here. It's definitely worth going to check the full videos of these. But here, for example, the XPM of Finland professor, he was talking about the power of Metaverse. I don't want to make Zilliqa sound like it's just about the Metaverse, because there's loads of stuff going on there. We do talk about things like XCAD, for example, the gaming. Of course, we'll go on to it a bit more in a second. But of course, Metaverse is very much something that's not a bubble, guys. This is something that really blew up towards the end of last year in terms of a conversation piece, and it's been built upon. And the real projects are going to be the ones that continue to talk about it and continue to engage and develop things within it as well. The Metaverse, people just think about sometimes that as about gaming. This is going to change the way we do everything. Now, we always talked about how blockchain and with things like IOTA and this, that, and the other are going to create automation and autonomous environments around the world that we live in today. But the Metaverse, and very interestingly, the words soft power, very interesting words being used in this conference here. Go and check it out. Was quite an interesting take on that. And I thought, well, what do they mean by that? And he went into detail about who has power anymore. These countries, more people have power in the digital universe than they do in the real world. This is the thing. And the amount of money that's being influxed in is purely down to the fact that people are fed up with the real world and they want to start something in a virtual world. And you kind of conclude in your mind, how does that even work? How is that even possible? But it is possible, and the fact that eventually down the line, and I mean this openly and genuinely, is we will have the AR chips within us. We have the ability to see things with our retina that we don't see today. I'm talking about all these Google Glass and things like that being implemented within us. The fact that we could jump in and out of things as and when we please from wherever we are, and it's I need to have a meeting with you, and instead of sitting there on Skype, you're jumping into a meeting within just closing your eyes or something, and you're sat in a big boardroom virtually with loads of other people in some crazy environment. You own a digital property for whatever reason, you're interlacing with games and activities and earning money. This is the thing, people are earning, literally leaving their jobs left, right and center right now to join into Metaverse and play to earn projects, i.e. gaming and activity to earn. And you think that's bizarre and what crazy world are we living in right now? But this is just a generational thing. This is the development and evolution of the way the world is going. You have to accept it. Metaverse is not going anywhere. If anything, it's going to take more and more control of everything. And that's where I lead into the conversation in many videos about this split of society, the split of the mind, really. Is do you then get so interlaced into the virtual world that you don't want to worry about the real world anymore? And has that almost half been forced because of the things going on around the world constantly? I'm not just about the last 6 months or 2 years. I'm talking about constant bombardment towards making it difficult for people to live here comfortably and enjoy themselves and this, that and the other. It's almost forced but perceived as an organic way of moving into the future. Now, it's gone on a bit of a rant, but I just wanted to make the point clear that these projects that are working in the Metaverse or working on Metaverse or their own worlds are really going to be defining themselves over the next few years. And I think for Zilliqa, in my opinion, and based on being an investor the last few years, I've seen gigantic development with these guys, and then finally as well, more so a clear structure and channel of which they want to move into. Like I said, the ecosystem of Zilliqa in previous videos that I mentioned is massive, and they contribute so many different projects, or so many projects are working with Zilliqa or on Zilliqa. It's really diverse. But the big things that are coming out from them right now are big projects within gaming, obviously something that I love. Very big things like XCAD, absolutely giant company now, an absolutely giant project. This allowing you the ability for people to make money from making videos that they probably already make money from, like monetization and stuff anyway. But additionally to that, with their own tokens, but then also people can watch the videos and get paid as well. You can sit there and earn money. It's crazy to think that, but it's here. The Metapolis, we've seen this on a few other projects like Decentraland and things like that. This is another level, in my opinion, in terms of, you know, the appearance of anything like that. They're building the festivals, concerts. You know, you have really powerful musicians and artists joining the Metaverse platform. Can you imagine, like, you see the last couple of years, right, how concerts and things developed to more online, where people, you know, famous DJs and stuff were doing things from their kitchen and stuff, but still getting the same, if not more, audience, because of, you know, everyone, you know, was nothing much more to do at those times. But now it's all opened up again. There's a philosophy in people's minds, I feel, that they feel like, oh, I don't actually need to go and do this. Like, I'll just do it from home, right? Even like meetings and stuff. And this is where I think like the social balance needs to be, you know, really consciously thought about. But I did think about it as like, you could literally make a premium price of live events, like going to a music concert or whatever, and being lucky enough to get a ticket, but then having an immersive experience even from your sofa at home, whether that be, you know, watching and actually making money while you watch and your favorite music or whatever, or jumping on with your goggles, you know, VR units and jumping into that. And that's what this is what I mean. It's like, oh yeah, no, I can't really be bothered to fly to the Ultra Music Festival in Miami this year. I'm going to watch it from my sofa. You pay some money or tokens, but you earn tokens as well from interactions and things. And you're just sat there in the sofa and enjoying the atmosphere. I've tried it with some football games over the last couple of years, and you're like sat on my sofa. I would never, by the way, watch a VR game of my team Tottenham. I'll always go and watch them live. But I thought, for a laugh, I'll watch one of the other games. It's like Man City and something versus someone. I was literally sat in this seat in the stadium, looking around, and people sat next to me, but I'm sat on my sofa, and it felt like I was there. Like, the audio around me was amazing, and it was like, wow, this is like what I like to see. I don't like watching football as you see it on TV. I like to see it from a fan's position, and it was just like, this is mental. But back to my point, Zilliqa is powering so many great things, and there's a great article here. Go check it out on investingnews.com. Really interesting aspects around esports. You know, this for me is really important, bridging the gap between traditional gaming and blockchain gaming. Or this P2E mechanism is certainly going to do its bit to force that faster. But, you know, this whole aspect of how much esports is worth, and I've said this many times over many videos. All the research I've done, like the last 5-6 years, even back when I was doing partnerships with esports projects and stuff like that. This is humongous opportunity, and the reason I'm bringing these points to more attention before we go to the charts is you always look for reasons why you want to invest in something, and you know, you don't have to be into gaming to be like, oh, I want to invest in something. You want to have at least the understanding of why it's important to understand why gaming is important to these things. Why is the metaverse important? Why are things like play to earn, view to earn important for the years to come? If you think of all the companies out there, like Apple and all these things, when they first started, you had the early adopters and the people that believed, and then eventually you had loads of people jumping in over years to come, and that's how obviously share prices and prices rise up. So if you can see the future, which is very clear right now of what's coming, It's projects like this, in my opinion, that I would happily want to accumulate and add to constantly in my portfolio. Yes, you could get short-term gains as well as long-term. And in fact, let's just jump into that perspective of the chart. I mean, last year absolutely flew up. And as I mentioned, this wasn't even about the metaverse or anything. This was just Zilliqa in general, like powerhousing the development. I have a feeling XCAB was launching around this time as well, which helped. I remember the days during that pandemic. I was buying Zilliqa at like 2 cents and powering up, thinking I had this like calculation for 2025, and I thought, okay, I'll buy enough for that. But I was sitting there like earlier this year when we were in the drop. I was like, why am I just sat on that number? I believe in it. Why don't I just add to it? So I started to. But look at that tail up, and just to reiterate, this could potentially be starting to happen again throughout this year at some point. But that's significant, really. Just under 800% increase from those prices. And took it up to around about 26 cents, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if you look at this, for example, back here in June 2020, I know that sounds like it's far away, but we did dip back similarly to those prices earlier this year, but not for a significant amount of time, very small amount of time. There's basically this little drop here to a low of 0.033, which we literally had not seen for such time. In fact, the last time was back here in the 9th of December in 2020. And since then, we've had massive tail ups. Now, I can understand and agree that we had massive overpurchasing. It's taken a while for us to develop back into what should be the real price of Zilliqa right now. But I think the future opportunity is absolutely massive, from where we are today. And we have seen that already in the last few weeks, how much that has taken off again already. I mean, look at that. From this point here, 14th of March, we've seen, let's have a look, near enough 30% growth. I think that's brilliant. For the market that we're in, and the world that we're in right now, this is really good and positive. I'm not saying that we won't come back down, have some more crashes eventually at some point. We've seen this already before here. So I'm not saying like we should get mega excited we're on a big bull run all of a sudden, because we have seen these patterns before. But what I will be excited by is if we have the pullbacks and they're higher, or at least matching previous ones. What I don't want to see is a break of the support like we saw back here around 4.7 cents, which by the way is a really nice sort of price anyway. I think anything under 5 cents is absolutely mental to obtain Zilliqa. But when we've seen this, we've seen a barrier here already at 5 cents. It's dropped back down. We could test back at this region of 4.6, 4.7 cents. I do believe that's if you haven't got Zilliqa, or it's something that you want to try to more accumulate, and it's not financial advice, but this is what I will be doing for sure, is I always have some buy orders around 4.7 cents anyway. But I would like to conclude one just above this little green fib retracement level here, just under 4.5 cents as well. So hitting those two top and below points there. Can it come lower than that? Absolutely, it's possible, because we have had this nice wave effect, and I do think we need to really, really identify proper support. And this is going to be the same for any other asset, by the way. We've seen big climbs, everyone's getting excited again, but just be wary that profits will be taken for sure, and we need to identify new support lines, because in the longevity of the project, especially for this year, I'm talking about 3 to 6 months time, you need these levels of support. You can't just keep going up and down like this. So this area is critical for me. Certainly above 4 cents, absolutely. And particularly where we touch these higher points back here, 4.4 cents for me is a real clear indicator. If we can get support above that for the next few weeks, I think we could be in for a really good run for the next few months coming. I'm not expecting like insane growth quickly, but I mean like the general momentum and nice wave patterns upwards and beyond. And we see the uptake in the investments right now. It's looking really positive. Like I said, if we do have a bit of a tail down, I don't really massively expect it to be like this again. I do anticipate maybe a small sell-off because of profits. But again, that's going to take some time because this wave has only just really started getting its middle ground, in my opinion. So we might see not necessarily sideways trading, but certainly something that has a nice little wave pattern between this sort of 4.4 and 5 cent mark. This is where I think we're trying to discover, can Zilliqa hold this area and move itself forwards? The MACD is in a positive perspective as well. You can see here a bounce off on the 8th of March, trying to pull us back down, but couldn't do it. We set up the second wave in a short period of time, and it's looking really bullish at the moment, of course. The RSI is on 14 days, 63. Yesterday hit 65. So in my opinion, there's still room to grow, and I think that might develop over the next couple of weeks for sure. But yeah, the 28 days on 52 at the moment. I won't be purchasing right now, but like I said, I've got my 2 buy areas in there. I'll be happy to dollar cost average around that too. But you know, if it starts taking off, it might get to like 7 to 10 cents, and then I might start taking a few of the profits from all the ones I was buying around 3.7 to 4.7. We'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, we've got to be positive when we can, and this has been a really good run up. So congrats to those that have been taking profits in this area for whatever reason. For me personally, I wait only because I have majority of mine in staking. We will do a Zilliqa staking video. Hopefully, I think tomorrow for you guys, because we did cover, I think, Zilliqa. Oh, it must have been like a couple of weeks ago now. So I do promise to do that. For those that are looking long term, it's, in my opinion, always a nice idea to hold a lot of it into staking. Let the rewards do the work for you, and you can obviously contribute those rewards to sell-offs in good market conditions if you wanted to, extra money, right? So do keep an eye out for that. But we'll wrap this video up, guys, quickly with the indicators on the right hand side. Buy momentum, as we clearly see, is already here. There's a bit of a sell-off so far in the last few hours, but yeah, this is where I might see some potential order opportunities. 18% up on the week, fantastic, and it's so good to see that monthly up as well. The 3 months, as we said in many videos and many different assets, this is going to take some time to reduce this deficit and bring it into a positive attitude. I can't really see that happening until we're probably concluding ourselves a bit higher and more stabilized over a period of time, maybe 2 months or so, around 5 to 10 cents to pull those back. But that should actually mirror the 6 months as well in that period of time. We have been on a massive downtrend, arguably, since April, May last year. And it's taken some time for us to finally find the bottom areas, of which, as I said, really good opportunities to be getting into these areas. Not financial advice, just opinion. Guys, I'm going to wrap that up there. Zilliqa is awesome. Let us know if you're holding ZIL, staking ZIL, buying, selling, whatever you're doing. Zilliqa related, drop in the comments. We will indeed catch up with you and ZIL in another video very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.